Right now, summer sun and summer fun, a way to beat the heat, but there's some relief on the way. Gary Canulty has that good news.
Also, another international student says he was the victim in another racially motivated attack. We'll hear his story.
And we're following damning testimony that Uvalde school police could have stopped the gunman shortly after he started shooting. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. It was a hot and humid first day of summer, with Dane County reporting many reports of road bucklings, and an alert day remains in the forecast through this evening. But what better way to beat the heat than spending some time at a splash pad? Here's some scenes from the Elver Park splash pad this afternoon. And Gary Canulty doesn't have a splash pad out back on the patio.
The next budget.
There's the pond you could jump in, right?
No, yeah, you get the. I don't want to take the pond away from the fish, but it is like a blast furnace out here. A visible cloud track shows sunshine just beating down on southern Wisconsin, but we're starting to see a little bit of cloud development to our north and west. And the Storm Prediction Center actually has a marginal risk for an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm this evening. We'll have to see whether or not they can develop. So far, they've had a hard time doing so just because it's so hot and the temperatures in the mid levels of the atmosphere are just too warm. But we're starting to see a couple of showers trying to pop up over Sauk County between Richland Center and Reedsburg. Eventually, we may see some thunderstorms develop out in that area over the next hour or two. Temperatures right now, 93 in Madison, 99 in Janesville, 99 in Milwaukee. Dew point temperatures, lower 70s, 73 in Madison, 70 in Janesville. It feels like 106 in Janesville and 102 here in Madison. Heat advisory in effect until 7 p.m. tonight. Once the storms move out of here this evening, it'll turn partly cloudy overnight with a low of 67. Tomorrow, sunny and warm, but less humid with a high of 83. Looks like we'll warm up before the end of the week, but not quite as much as we have the last couple of days. I'll have more of that in the forecast in a few minutes.
Thank you. It was 1 week ago today that a UW-Madison student was attacked while walking near campus at night.
The international PhD student was from China was beaten and bruised, and the incident sparked an anti-Asian hate protest on campus just days later. Tonight, another UW student speaking out, claiming he was also attacked by that group of suspects and believes it was racially motivated.
He shares his story for the first time with our Brad Hamilton, who joins us now with more. Brad?
Curtis Wang is going into his senior year at UW-Madison with hopes of eventually becoming a lawyer. He moved to China to America to chase his dream and has loved every second of living in Madison. But what happened to Curtis last Tuesday has shaken him to his core.
They just attacked me because of my face, so I just feel like it's not okay.
It's been exactly 1 week since Curtis Wang says that he was attacked while walking home from campus.
I didn't know they're gonna hit me before I just, passing by, but they did.
Wang says this all started when he felt someone throw a banana at his back. When he turned around, he saw 4 individuals laughing at him. When Curtis threw that banana back at them, they chased him down the street. Thankfully, he did escape. However, the moment of fear has stayed with him.
Do you look over your shoulder a little bit? Are you a little more fearful walking on the street?
A little bit. Because I always feel like somebody probably gonna attack my back.
Madison police confirmed that his fellow classmate, who was a UW PhD student, did not escape the same 4 suspects. As you can see, this student was badly beaten that same night on West Gilman Street. It ultimately led to the arrest of these 4 young men. And Wang says knowing that his alleged attackers are behind bars is a good feeling.
I just feel like this is justice. They deserve that. They should be arrested.
Wang says that he was in attendance for an anti-Asian hate protest over the weekend, which was organized in response to these 2 attacks. Overall, he says he is thankful for the support of both his friends and strangers alike. And he has an important message for those in our community tonight.
What's your biggest takeaway from this? What do you want people to know about this story?
Well, Asian lives matter, of course. All lives matter. Because there's no reasonable basis like you hate someone because of their race. I mean, it's not okay.
Madison police say they understand people's concern that these 2 attacks were racially motivated, but right now they have found no evidence that any words were spoken to the victims suggesting that they were specifically targeted.
All right, Brad, thank you. UW-Madison Interim Chancellor John Carl Schultz emailed students and staff today saying UW and Madison police are working to support the victims, and he said, quote, "Violence has no place on our campus nor in our city, and we are focused on keeping our community safe."
Madison police have arrested 4 juveniles juveniles, all under 15 years old, for stealing and crashing a Kia SUV last night. An off-duty police officer saw a car driving recklessly on Seven Nations Drive near Rimrock. A few minutes later, that car hit an unoccupied van and rolled over. The youngsters ran off but were found later near Moreland Road. Madison police say there has been a rash of stolen Kia vehicles. Apparently, they can be started without a key by tampering with the steering column. We'll have a full report on how that happens coming up tonight at 10.
Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson was implicated during a hearing by the January 6th committee this afternoon. An investigative counsel told the committee that just minutes before Congress was to begin certification of the 2020 election, an aide for Johnson, Sean Riley, told Chris Hodgins from Mike Pence's staff that Johnson wanted to hand-deliver to Pence the fake elector votes from Wisconsin and Michigan because the archivist didn't receive them. The Hodgins replied, quote, don't give that to him. A spokesperson for Johnson, Alexa Henning, tweeted a statement this afternoon saying Johnson, quote, had no involvement in the creation of an alternate slate of electors and had no foreknowledge that it was going to be delivered to our office, end quote. During today's hearing, the committee argued former President Donald Trump and top aides pushed officials in key states to overturn the election in his favor, despite warnings it could lead to violence. Arizona State House Speaker Rusty Bowers faced threats after he resisted pressure from Mr. Trump and his attorneys, at the time Rudy Giuliani, and replaced Arizona's electors. And a 2020 Georgia elector worker said she and her family were physically accosted and faced death threats after Mr. Trump and Giuliani made false accusations about a scheme involving a ballot.
Wishing death upon me, saying things like, be glad it's 2020 and not 1920.
And British filmmaker Alex Holder now says he has complied with a committee subpoena to take over exclusive footage, to turn over, that is, exclusive footage and interviews with the former president and his inner circle in the days before and after January 6th. And while the 2020 election was the focus of the hearings in Washington, in Wisconsin, elections officials held a briefing of their own. It was a first in a series of briefings they intend to hold before the fall elections to demystify the process and help instill trust among voters, that is.
Political reporter Will Keneally was in on the briefing and joins us with more. Will?
So it may feel like a ways out, but the August and November elections are fast approaching. Thursday even marks the deadline for local clerks to send out absentee ballots for those who have already requested them for the August 9th primary. And today, the state's top election official, Megan Wolf, joined Lisa Tullifson, the Rock County clerk, to talk about all the work that municipal clerks, the ones that actually run the elections, do on behalf of voters.
They're the ones sending out your absentee ballots. They're the one doing those public tests. They're doing all of that work for you. They know you. They are your neighbors.
This is all ahead of the August 9th primary. The officials also reminded voters of upcoming deadlines. Voters have to establish residency in the vote to vote in the August primary by July 12th. And July 20th is the last day to register to vote, online or by mail. Voters can also register to vote in person at the polls or at their city clerk's office. This is all as election officials prepare for both elections this fall. We'll have more on those preparations coming up at 6.
We will see you at 6, Will. Thank you. For families in need, a new pilot program in Madison may offer some financial relief. The Madison Forward Fund will provide 155 families with $500 per month for a full year. Those who are selected for the program can then use the money with no strings attached. That means they can put it toward any expense that they need it for.
Guaranteed income offers dignity and self-determination that contrasts from the archaic one-size-fits-all approach we often find in the fields of human and social services. Providing unrestricted guaranteed income strays from the historic approach of dictating how, when, and what terms individuals can build their lives. Catherine?
In order to qualify for the program, families must have a household income less than 200% of the federal poverty line, have at least one child under 18 living in their home, and be permanent Madison residents. We have a link to the application under this story on channel3000.com.
Testimony from the director of the Texas Department of Public Safety is sparking new outrage over law enforcement's response to last month's mass shooting at a Uvalde elementary school.
Today, the public safety chief told a Texas State Senate hearing that officers waited for more than an hour for a key, even though the classroom door was not locked. Omar Villafranca reports from Uvalde.
The director of the Texas Department of Public Safety blasted law enforcement's response to the Uvalde school shooting.
There's compelling evidence that the law enforcement response to the attack at Robb Elementary was an abject failure and antithetical to everything we've learned over the last 2 decades since the Columbine massacre.
Colonel Steve McCraw told state lawmakers that 3 minutes after the gunman entered Robb Elementary School, there were enough officers on the scene to neutralize the suspect. But instead, it took more than an hour to storm the classroom. He placed the blame squarely on decisions made by Uvalde School District Police Chief Pete Arredondo.
The only thing stopping a hallway of dedicated officers from entering room 111 and 112 was the on-scene commander, who decided to place the lives of officers before the lives of children.
McCraw said police were waiting for a key, even though he says the classroom door was not locked.
How about trying the door and see if it's unlocked? And of course, no one had.
Arredondo has said he didn't consider himself the person in charge, and earlier this month, he insisted, quote, not a single responding officer ever hesitated, even for a moment, to put themselves at risk to save the children. Some victims' families are calling for Arredondo to be fired.
We were failed by Pete Arredondo. He failed our kids, teachers, parents, and city.
Colonel McCraw says his top recommendation is for more training. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Uvalde, Texas.
The public safety chief also confirmed that Police Chief Arredondo did not have a radio with him, and police and sheriff's radios did not work within the school.
Children 6 months old to 5 years old are now eligible to receive their first COVID-19 vaccines. And while there were a few tears from nervous toddlers, parents could not be happier.
A long time coming. I mean, we've been as careful as we could be within reason for a long, long time. And yeah, maybe excited to do some stuff inside now.
Cyrus Cars brought his 2-year-old daughter, Amira, in for a COVID-19 vaccine at this D.C. clinic. Doctors say vaccinating children is not only about protection, but also preventing potential long-term consequences.
Children in particular, while thankfully most have mild disease if they become infected with COVID-19, there are still a lot of unknowns. We don't know what happens to children when they're infected so young, what can happen to them as they get older.
President Biden visited one of the clinics this afternoon. A CDC survey shows more than half of all parents definitely or probably will get their children vaccinated, and just under a third saying they will not. Well, Dane County will soon be able to provide electricity for all its needs. We'll show you what's in the works to make that happen.
And then as a heat wave continues across the Midwest, what can be done to protect those in need? And then coming up at 6, how Madison celebrated a day of music with hundreds of performances across the city.
A positive day on Wall Street for a change. The Dow Industrials added 641 points. The NASDAQ up 270. The S&P 500 gained 89 points for its best day in 3 weeks. We'll be right back.
Have you ever experienced this view? Hi, Andrew Larson here. With Gutter Shutter, you'll never have to experience it again. Please give up this dangerous chore and protect your home's foundation with Gutter Shutter, the strongest, most durable, maintenance-free gutter on the market. Over the past 15 years, my team has installed thousands of maintenance-free gutter systems across South Central Wisconsin. We'd love to come out and show you what Gutter Shutter can do for you and your home, but most importantly, keep you safe and off that ladder. So call today for a free estimate.
Impatience is a virtue. When you know what you want, quitting isn't an option.
New Balance Madison, we got now.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Donate today.
I'm Alex Lasry, a Democrat running to beat Senator Ron Johnson.
And I'm Lauren Lasry, and this is our daughter Eleanor. I know Alex will always fight for working families.
To get more money in the pockets of working people and lower costs.
By making paid leave available and healthcare more affordable.
And I'll always be a relentless supporter of a woman's right to choose.
Especially now. Alex is exactly the kind of ally Tammy Baldwin needs in the Senate.
So I approve this message because we have to do better than having Ron Johnson as our senator.
Dude, great ride. Right? This Silverado keeps me connected and in control. And this touchscreen is my command center. My command center.
The 2022 Silverado LT. Find new control. Find new roads. Well-qualified buyers can get 1.9% financing on all 2022 Silverado 1500 pickups. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
The heat will break with a few strong thunderstorms possible this evening. I'll let you know if any will be severe at 6.
And we asked Wisconsin Election Commission officials of the potential problems that may arise in the coming elections at 6.
The News 3 Now Call for Action team, getting results for you. When a local woman was taken advantage of by a car dealership, we took action and helped her get back nearly $10,000.
After going through you, it's just like, you can breathe.
Call for Action, only on News 3 Now.
Well, Dane County is taking final steps to reaching its goal of using 100% renewable electricity at all county facilities. The county exec and representatives from Alliant Energy and SunVest Solar kicked off construction of a 90-acre solar project this morning in the town of Cottage Grove. The site will be home to over 33,000 solar panels and produce enough electricity to power 3,000 homes. Well, today marks the first official day of summer, even though it's felt like summer for quite a while now.
That's true. This current heat wave follows one last week, and much of the country is scorching. Danya Backus takes a look at what can be done to protect the most vulnerable.
Portland, Oregon resident Jolene Brown died of extreme heat almost 1 year ago.
I'm going down to her grave and gonna bring flowers and just kind of sit with her and talk.
Her son Shane had bought his mother a swamp cooler, but it wasn't enough for her home as temperatures soared to 116 degrees. She was one of hundreds who died in 2021's Pacific Northwest heat wave. Some called it a mass casualty event. Many were elderly, low income, or homeless.
If I had heard it's going to be dangerous, then I would have taken it more seriously and been like, okay, maybe I need to get her to my place.
Excessive heat causes more deaths in the U.S. than any other weather-related disasters, including hurricanes, floods, and tornadoes combined. And scientists expect heat deaths will rise due to climate change. Naming and ranking heat waves could change that trajectory, according to Kathy Boffman-McLeod, who studies climate change solutions.
If something is the silent killer, it needs a PR tactic and some branding. And we believe that if we give them a name, people pay attention.
The proposal would categorize the severity of heat waves on a scale from 1 to 3, using factors including the heat index, nighttime temperatures, and how fast temperatures have climbed over the last 30 days. The scale would vary from region to region.
One jurisdiction, like Bakersfield, California, is going to have a much higher threshold because they're accustomed to hotter temperatures than people in Minneapolis.
This system is launching for the first time Tuesday in Seville, Spain. 4 U.S. cities are testing out the heat wave scale, and not a moment too soon. Forecasters expect July will bring more record-breaking heat. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And Gary's here now to just how dangerous heat can be. It's a killer.
It is. You know, it's that silent killer. Back in 1995, that big heat wave we had killed over 700 people in Chicago, and they found out a lot of it after the fact. It was those warm overnight low temperatures that just put a strain on the body, and then during the daytime, if they couldn't get into air conditioning, that was pretty much it for people that were in poor physical shape. And that's what's happening right now. 93 Madison, 99 Milwaukee. They have hit 100 degrees today. 98 Chicago, 99 in Rockford. Then take a look at the dew point temperatures. Sultry, 70 to 75 degree dew points. You factor those together with the temperature, it feels like 104 in Milwaukee, 106 in Rockford, 107 in Moline, Illinois, 104 in Dubuque, and 102 in Madison. Now, with all that moisture, any thunderstorms that develop could become severe quickly. It's just a question of whether or not they can even develop. The Storm Prediction Center has a level 1 or marginal risk of severe thunderstorms from mainly hail and high winds this evening, mainly to the from Madison on toward the east. And the thunderstorms are just starting to develop now up toward the Dells, just west of the Dells, part of a line of thunderstorms right along the cold front here. That's where the wind shift line is. These showers back to the west will not become severe. But again, we're going to watch these storms over the next couple of hours to see if they expand or if they just kind of wither in the heat. The 3-hour future track from one of the computer models favors the southern part of the area for more likely development for thunderstorms, whereas one of the other computer models has more of the development farther up to the north where we're seeing it, and maybe a little more scattered development to the south. So it's going to be one of those situations where a couple of people could get a severe storm with hail, high winds, and heavy rainfall, and many of us miss out on the rain altogether. 3 things you need to know in the forecast, though. Tomorrow will be sunny, but it'll be warm and less humid. That's the important thing. High temperatures in the lower 80s. Temperatures back in the upper 80s for Thursday and Friday, but humidity levels should still stay down. Slight chance for a thunderstorm Thursday night into Friday. Better chances for thunderstorms with more humidity on Saturday and highs in the mid-80s, but following the passage of a cold front Saturday evening, we drop back to highs in the 70s for Sunday. Heat advisories in effect for much of the central Midwest, including southern Wisconsin, until 7 p.m. Heat indices you can see in the triple digits and upper 90s through much of our part of the Midwest, where actual air temperatures are well into the 90s, basically from Kansas and southern Wisconsin eastward into Ohio. And dew point temperatures are highest right here, so that's where the flow of moisture is. But the air does dry out to the west, so this jet stream right over us is starting to let a cold front come through. The upper level winds behind it still from the southwest, so temperatures will cool off, but not a lot. It's just the humidity will drop. Again, those temperatures have been rising here. Notice Minneapolis, they're down 12 degrees, and even right now they're in the upper 80s, and that's because they were around 100 degrees at this time yesterday. Heat advisory in effect until 7 p.m. for all of southern Wisconsin. Look for an overnight low temperature of about 67. Any evening thunderstorms will end. Then it'll be partly cloudy overnight, and then tomorrow, sunny and warm, but less humid with a high temperature of 83. Future track, again, thunderstorm threat early this evening. Then after that, lows in the upper 60s with partly cloudy skies. Lots of sun for tomorrow. High temperatures in the lower 80s. Tomorrow night, mostly clear, a little cooler. Low temperatures around 60, and then high temperatures back into the mid to upper 80s as we head into Thursday. Again, a slight chance for a thunderstorm Thursday night into Friday. Better chances on Saturday with a little more humidity, and then temperatures drop into the mid to upper 70s for the early part of next week, and then climb back into the 80s later on in the week with some thunderstorm chances about Wednesday and Thursday. As we check out first warn traffic, again, be aware that there are some pavement buckles from time to time that have been appearing around the Madison area. Right now, Beltline traffic moving pretty slowly in both directions. That's the view of Park Street. Eastbound Beltline from Stoughton Road to Verona Road. Westbound Beltline from around Todd Drive back to John Nolan Drive. About a 24-minute trip on the eastbound Beltline, 20 minutes on the westbound Beltline between University Avenue and the interstate. From the Beltline south through to Janesville on I-3990, a 24-minute trip. Middleton to Sauk City on US 12 will take you 16 minutes. Downtown to Sun Prairie, East Washington Avenue and US 151 is an 18-minute commute. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic.
All right, thank you, Gary. Coming up next, from a disc jockey to a mental health worker, how Fatboy Slim is making that transition when we return.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Before treating your chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more, you're not the only one with questions about Botox. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine before they even start, with about 10 minutes of treatment once every 3 months. So ask your doctor if Botox is right for you, and if a sample is available.
Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
In a survey, 92% of current users said they wish they talked to their doctor and started Botox sooner. Plus, right now, you may pay $0 for Botox. Learn how AbbVie could help you save on Botox.
Here's a dose of reality. Driving under the influence of prescription painkillers is just as illegal and just as deadly as driving drunk. In fact, drugged driving deaths in Wisconsin have increased nearly 200% over the past 10 years. Help prevent drugged driving, and let's achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roadways. Driving on pills kills.
Hurry into Menards and get 11% off everything. Cool off while adding style with a new ceiling fan. From traditional to modern, small room to great room, we have the best selection of fans in stock, so you'll be sure to find the perfect one for your home. Plus, they'll help you save on cooling costs year-round. Right now, all Hunter and Patriot Lighting ceiling fans are 11% off at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Visiting the Paco Credit Union was the thing that started all this.
We had a lot of student loan debt, low credit scores for bad decisions we had made in our younger years.
We thought it was the point where you could never come back from it. We've always wanted to own our own restaurant, so I just kind of floated the idea like, oh, I found this food truck.
I was like, yeah, let's try it. Dupaco helped us so much with just putting everything together.
Definitely life-changing for us.
What we have right now would not have been possible without Dupaco Credit Union.
I'm Tim Michaels. My company was building the Keystone Pipeline, but then Joe Biden canceled it, afraid to offend liberals. Biden killed hundreds of jobs, sent gas prices way up, making everything more expensive. Only a career politician could make such a mess of things. I'm Tim Michaels. Liberals like Biden and Tony Evers are destroying our economy, and the hardworking people of Wisconsin, they're paying the price. As governor, I'll fight to make sure you keep more of your money, and I don't care who I offend to do it.
Welcome back. World-famous DJ Fatboy Slim has a new gig in the UK to help improve mental health.
Norman Cook, that's his real name, is passing on the tricks of the trade to help folks in his hometown in southern England to improve their mental health. His DJ sessions are part of a government program in the UK to help people with severe mental health problems.
Music's helped me tremendously during my own mental health journey. As a DJ, what I try and do is help people escape, and sometimes it's good to escape your life or your stress for a couple of hours.
Doing something like this, it just proves to me I can step outside of my everyday routine.
Cook says seeing their joy boosts his mental health as well. Well, the final check your first warning forecast when we come back.
When cleaning your air ducts, it's important to clean the entire system. And air duct cleaning from Stanley Steamer removes pounds of trapped dirt, dust, and allergens from your home completely. Call today for a free inspection.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Most senators couldn't tell you the cost of a gallon of milk. Thanks, Ruben. Or how much beef has gone up this year. But I'm not like most senators or any of the other millionaires running for Senate. My mom was a teacher and my dad worked third shift. I know how hard you work. And I know that by bringing manufacturing home, we create jobs and we lower costs. If we want to change Washington, we got to change the people we send there. I'm Mandela Barnes and I approve this message.
Oh, love that Chevy Blazer. That's our next SUV. Love that Equinox. That's our next SUV.
Nice Trailblazer.
It was love at first sight. What? The Chevy family of SUVs. Find new options. Find new roads. Qualified lessees can sign and drive this Equinox for around $340 a month. Tax, title, license, and dealer fees are extra. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
How do you use your energy? Giving back to your community? Fueling your drive to deliver hope for neighbors in need? At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Because even during the most powerful moments in our lives, we're not thinking about power. We're thinking about a brighter future. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
When my family opened the first Culver's in Sauk City, Wisconsin, you know what we did? We gave it our all, making sure everyone felt welcome, sharing our favorite foods from around the state, like Butterburgers and fresh frozen custard, greeting every guest with all our heart, crafting each meal with care, believing a smile makes everything taste better. And it's a tradition we bring with us yet today, from our hometown to yours. Welcome to Delicious.
Joe Biden opened America's borders, increasing the flow of deadly drugs into our communities. Last year, over 105,000 people died of drug overdoses in America. Biden's putting our children and families at risk. Ron Johnson is warning everyone that drug traffickers are adding fentanyl to counterfeit pills, and it only takes one pill to kill. Please tell your children and support law enforcement.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
The Stanley Steamer started with one man, a van, and a whole lot of carpet. We've been innovating for a long time. Stanley Steamer now goes beyond carpet. Schedule a cleaning today.
All right, Gary's here. The rate's starting to perk up a little bit.
Yeah, starting to see some thunderstorms in a narrow line from around the Dells back to Lone Rock, just to the west of Platteville, and into parts of eastern Iowa. So over the next couple of hours, don't be surprised if you get some heavier thunderstorms that kind of roll through the Madison area and then off to the east. But those temperatures right now are blistering hot. It's still 93 in Madison with a dew point of 72.
Ew. We leave tomorrow. Thanks, Gary.
Thanks for watching, everybody. See you back here at 6.